But here is the story getting our attention at this hour. I'll read from the work of Alex Seitzwald of NBC News. Charleston, South Carolina. A top advisor to Bernie Sanders said the candidate would reject an offer from Mike Bloomberg to spend heavily on his behalf in the general election if the Vermont senator wins the Democratic Party's nomination. Bloomberg, a billionaire, has said he would keep his, currently running against Sanders, has said he would keep his money flowing to help oust President Trump, regardless of whom is nominated by the Democrats. But Jeff Weaver, Sanders' closest aide, says, quote, it's a hard no. Stephanie Ruhle and then Eddie Glaude, please, let's talk about this.
I mean, this one is extraordinary because what's the most important thing to you? Is your top priority to defeat Donald Trump, or is your top priority to stay true to your ideology? And yes, this
apparently
is
we have an answer.
This is an ugly, devastating game, but you're about to run against someone who has, on the president's side, what seems to be an unlimited budget. And yes, if you then become the president and you have the power, i.e. you're the Democrat, you can then change the game. You can say, let's take money out of politics. But unless you're in that position of power, you're going to continue to have this debate about staying true to your ideology from a coffee house in Brooklyn.
Well,
Eddie?
Well, my view is this. What's at stake? It's not just simply to get Donald Trump out of office. Donald Trump is a symptom of the rot that's at the heart of our democracy. And if we believe that getting him out of office will solve our problems, then I have an affordable flat in Brooklyn to sell you, right? So the point I'm trying to suggest is this, or the point I'm trying to make is this. Big money has corrupted our politics. Big money has, in some ways, distorted our democracy at its heart. So what does it mean in this moment when you're in the midst of a change election and your brand, however we want to use that language, and your MO is that you're here to fundamentally transform, revolutionize how we think about doing politics in this country. And then you accept the money? Do you accept the money from a practical step? I think it's a performative contradiction. And what is Bernie Sanders? What is one of his selling points? Is his authenticity. So let me just say it in a very plain way. The problem isn't just Trump. The problem has everything to do with big money. It has everything to do with corporations. It has everything to do with gerrymandering. Our problem cuts really deep. And if we believe that we can displace all of our problems onto this melodramatic, bad, evil character called Donald Trump, then we set ourselves up for even more.
However, you could say Mitch McConnell. You could say a whole bunch of other characters, but unless you have power,
you're not going to fix it. Right, you're not going to fix it unless you have power. You have to get power. That's something the Republican Party has understood all along. It got power. It's now installed hundreds of federal judges and 2 new Supreme Court justices, and is moving merrily along.
And we saw Barack Obama say during the primary that he wasn't going to accept that money. He then decided to accept that money. He got into office. And what did he do with power?
Well,
did he fundamentally change things?
But he didn't, because Mitch McConnell, who's got a whole ton of power, said, no, thank you. You can't do anything.
Vicky?
I'm very much torn between Stephanie and Eddie. I feel that argument. I do. But at the same time, it's not just Trump. I'm looking at redistricting. This is a census year, and we're going to be drawing districts that are going to influence politics at least for the next 10 years, perhaps more. Yeah. And the Supreme Court, again, I can't say this enough, the Supreme Court, the Supreme Court, the Supreme Court, let alone all of the federal judges. So it's not just Trump for me, it's the larger ecosystem, and I'm willing to take that bitter pill for the larger ecosystem.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me, or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.